Yo, guys, and as you can tell by the thumbnail and by the title of this video, I am back with another review, but this time it is a Smackdown review. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I actually thought that Smackdown last night was a pretty amazing show from beginning to end. I quite enjoyed it. I think the booking decisions for the two people that won the last time is now tournament wasn't the choices that I would have gone with. I would have gone with the other two to win it, personally. But for one of the matches, I can understand why that person lost. But for the first match that we got, it should have definitely been the other person that was a part of that match. But we will obviously get onto that a bit more when we get onto the match that I'm talking about. Well, the two matches that I'm talking about. But yeah, as you can see by the thumbnail, I did give last night's SmackDown a 5 out of 5 because, like I've said, I actually felt that it was a pretty amazing show with just a few moments that could have been a little bit different. If you're wondering why I have a long like white wire attached to the mic, it's because it's on charge at the moment, and I was like, if my mic still works while it's on charge, then I might as well just keep it on charge because I won't hopefully have to worry about the mic going off because it's on charge, so it shouldn't go off. So that's the reasoning for the white wire that is attached to the microphone. So it shouldn't go off now, but I'm not too sure if it will or not. I presume not, right? Anyways, let's kick on with what happened on SmackDown because got a few other bits to do. I don't know what I'm telling you guys, but so I need to get this video filmed and I need to get it uploaded and everything. So let's kick on straight away with what happened on last night's SmackDown. Before I do though, please let me know in the comments just down below what your ratings was for last night's SmackDown. Do you agree with me with it being a pretty amazing show with just a couple of moments that could have been a little bit different, so you still felt that it was a 5 out of 5, or do you believe that it was good but could have been better, so you gave it a 4 out of 5, or do you believe that it was an alright show, like there was a few things that you liked but it wasn't quite a good or a great show last night, or do you believe that it was meh, like there was barely anything that you liked about the show, but it wasn't quite that bad that you didn't give it a 1 out of 5, so you gave it a 2 out of 5? Or do you believe that this was one of the worst SmackDowns of the year? You wish this SmackDown never happened. You liked like one thing about this SmackDown and that was it, and you will never go back and watch anything to do with this SmackDown. And yeah, you gave it a 1 out of 5. But like I've said a few times now, one more time, I did give last night's SmackDown a 5 out of 5. But anyways, let's kick straight on with what happened on last night's SmackDown. To kick off the show, we had Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, two people a part of the babyface side of things when it comes to War Games in like 2 weeks' time today, as I'm filming this. And they pretty much said that the Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax and Last Legend, think that they're untouchable. But we now have our team together, and let me introduce you to our friends who are going to be a part of our team at War Games: Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They make their way down to the ring. Alexa, Charlotte, Io, and Ripley will end War Games. Will end it. Sorry, they started it. Those four that are in the ring, Io, Rhea, Charlotte, and Alexa, will end it. And then Alexa said to Charlotte, when I heard War Games, I said, count me in, or something along the lines of that, anyways. And Charlotte actually refused to be a part of War Games. She said that she can't do it anymore. She can't pretend anymore. She don't like Rhea. She thinks Rhea's a snake. They have too much history with one another, and she refused to be a part of War Games and walked out the ring and will not put the feud that they had in 2023 behind her and refused to be a part of War Games alongside Rhea Ripley. And I gave this segment overall a high 3 out of 5 because I didn't feel that the beginning bit was like the greatest with Rhea and Io. Like it kind of felt like stop and starty a little bit. So I didn't really like that beginning part with Rhea and Io, but it got better when Charlotte and Alexa made their way to the ring, and Alexa and Charlotte's promos were way better than Rhea and Io, so it made the whole segment itself a bit better. But yeah, so I did give it a high 3 out of 5, but I kind of like that Charlotte didn't want to be involved in War Games and has refused to be a part of War Games alongside Rhea Ripley, because WWE have a tendency to put people on the same team as one another just for the sake of War Games, and they're like, and then they go into it being like, can these two coexist and defeat the heels, or can these two coexist and defeat the baby faces? Ooh, we'll have to wait and see. But they've actually done something a little bit different with Charlotte just refusing to be a part of War Games. Because obviously in the ring on Monday Night Raw, Rhea Ripley announced War Games as all 4 of them were in the ring. So it's a little bit different than them going round, like Rhea Ripley and Io going round and picking people to be a part of War Games. They were already in the ring when Rhea announced War Games, so they've done it way differently this time, with Charlotte refusing to be a part of it, because when Seth Rollins refused to be a part of the babyfaces side of things in last year's War Games, he wasn't actually in the ring when they announced that this was going to be the War Games match with the couple of people that were already in it. So that's why CM Punk took Seth's place, because Seth refused to be a part of it. But they've done it differently with Charlotte. I like that Charlotte was in the ring when Rhea announced War Games, and then Friday Night SmackDown, she had a few days to think about it, and she's decided that she can't do it because of the history between Rhea and Charlotte. And I feel like it's perfect. Like, Rhea and Charlotte had a massive feud in 2023. They, as much as they're both baby faces now, they can't pretend to like each other when they had a massive feud, you know? And I like that now there is 2 spots open for the baby faces now. And I am going to make like predictions now, because obviously I won't do my official Satellites main event. What? I won't do my official Survivor Series predictions until the card is officially like set in stone, because I've already done an early Survivor Series prediction video. But I'm going to say now that I do think that the other 2 people will be either Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, and then on Team Heels it will be Jade Cargill, because Charlotte Flair has refused to be a part of War Games alongside Alexa Bliss, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky, right? On the Friday Night SmackDown, Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair went face to face as Jade Cargill was making her way out of the arena and Charlotte was making her way to the ring to face Nia Jax. They had a little face off, so they could use that as part of this War Games, with Jade Cargill being a part of War Games, but Charlotte Flair not being a part of War Games. Kind of similar to what happened with Bronson and CM Punk when CM Punk was a part of War Games, even though Seth had that ongoing feud at the time with Bronson Reed, but Seth wasn't a part of War Games because he just refused to be a part of it, and then CM Punk ended up getting his hands on Bronson when it should have been Seth getting his hands on Bronson Reed. I feel like they're kind of going to do that with Jade Cargill being a part of Team Heels, and then Bayley and Lyra Valkyria being a part of Team Babyfaces because of their history with the Kabuki Warriors. And then Charlotte can be like annoyed at herself for not being a part of War Games because now she's not being able to get her hands on Jade Cargill, considering their little face off that they had. So it could be those 3. And then the other 3 that it potentially could be is on in the heels, it's Becky Lynch, because of Becky Lynch's interaction with the Kabuki Warriors like a couple of weeks ago on Raw. And then Maxine Dupree and AJ Lee on the babyfaces side because of the match that Becky's having at Madison Square Garden against Maxine Dupree, that AJ could come out and help Maxine after she gets attacked by Becky after the match is done, and then those 3 are a part of War Games. So I feel like it's either option A or option B to what I just said. Let me know, guys. Would you prefer option A, with it being Bayley and Lyra on Team Baby Phases, and then Jade Cargill on Team Heels? Or would you prefer option B, Maxine Dupree and AJ Lee on Team Babyface, and then Becky Lynch on Team Heels? Let me know, guys, which one you would prefer. I personally would prefer Team team. Option A, because I don't want AJ Lee a part of War Games. I'm not going to lie to you, because this is her second match back, and it's going to be in a War Game scenario. I feel like she needs to get rid of that ring rust a little bit more in like a one-on-one scenario. So I prefer like Becky Lynch put her Intercontinental Championship on the line against AJ Lee at Survivor Series, and just a one-on-one match with maybe Maxine Dupree at ringside or special guest referee or something, and then the option A is the War Games, so Jade Cargill part of Team Heels, and then Bayley and Lyra are part of Team Baby Faces. And also, it'd be curious to see how Bayley copes with being in a War Game scenario, considering the kind of character she's playing at the moment, where she kind of switches. And obviously, she used to be really good friends with Asuka and Kairi Sane, so she could switch and start cuddling and hugging Asuka and Kairi, and then like the other team members are going to be like, "What are you doing? Like, you're on our team." Like, and then she could switch back and start beating the shit out of them. So that'd be really interesting and intriguing to have Bayley a part of the War Game scenario, considering her character at the moment. So I prefer my options, really. I really, really do. But anyways, yeah, like I said, I did give that segment a high 3 out of 5. The first match of the night was the Last Time Is Now tournament, and it was Jey Uso versus The Miz. I did give this match overall a moderate 3 out of 5, because I felt it was decent. The Miz interrupted the redo of the Yeet, because obviously Jey Uso does his entrance and then he redoes it, but The Miz made his way to the ring before Jey could even do that. It was a pretty 50-50 match between the pair of them, so I'm glad about that. We had nasty knees to the face by The Miz to Jey Uso that looked awful. The Miz stole John Cena's moveset with doing the shoulder tackle, and then the 5 knuckle shuffle and the You Can't See Me. So that was quite funny to see The Miz play homage to John Cena, considering that those two are not going to meet in the ring during this retirement tour. And then we had a close call to the skull crushing finale by The Miz, of course. And then, unfortunately, Jey Uso was able to pick up the victory with the spear and a frog splash. And Jey Uso has advanced in this Last Time Is Now tournament. Like, this match right here between Jey Uso and The Miz, it should have been The Miz. Should have been The Miz by a mile. Jey Uso has got stuff going on Raw with Jimmy Uso, The Vision, and Roman Reigns. Jey Uso is literally a part of War Games in 2 weeks' time today. The Miz has got a few going on with Carmelo, but Carmelo is a part of this Last Time Is Now tournament, so their feud's been put on pause for a couple of weeks. So I just feel like it should have been The Miz. Like, it really should have been The Miz here, because The Miz needed this win to go further on in the tournament as much as possible than Jey did. Like, Jey's got lots of stuff going on Raw when The Miz doesn't have barely anything going on SmackDown. This should have been The Miz by a mile. The second match in the Last Time Is Now tournament, I don't mind who won. I don't mind, because obviously the person that came back, they came back just to be a part of this Last Time Is Now tournament, so it didn't really make that much sense for him to win it. So the person that won that match made a lot of sense. But I feel like this match should have been The Miz versus the winner of the second match that happened on last night's SmackDown in the Last Time Is Now tournament. That would have made a bit more sense to me. But yeah, unfortunately, Jey Uso picked up the victory here, but I don't know, man. Anyways, the next match we had last night was the US Open Challenge, and it wasn't really an open challenge because it was already pre-announced who is going to be the opponent for Ilya Dragunov, but it was still kind of is a US Open Challenge, I guess, in a way. And it was Axiom. Axiom, I knew it was going to be Axiom. I said last week on my SmackDown review, I'm pretty sure I did anyway, I said that I guarantee you that it's going to be Axiom that answers the call, and that's exactly what happened. I did give this a low 4 out of 5, because I feel like if it went on for a little bit, like about like 4 or 5 minutes longer, I think I would have given this a 5 out of 5. But because of the stuff that's going on with War Games and everything at the moment, and SmackDown being only 2 hours, they couldn't do as long as a match as I think they would have done if they didn't have the Last Time Is Now tournament and all that going on. So I did end up giving this match a 4 out of 5 between Axiom and Ilya Dragunov. It was a very fast-paced match from the get-go. Charles Robinson's reactions to the wrestlers hitting each other is absolutely fucking hilarious. Honestly, the best referee in the game, 110%. That didn't really make any sense, but he's the best referee in the game by far. No, of any company, by far he's the best. We had a nasty kick and elbow combo by both Maxime. What the fuck? Because I read M by Axiom and Ilya. We had a near fall to the spinning DDT by Axiom, where he like jumped off the top rope and then spun Ilya Dragunov into like a head-on DDT. Like that was head to the mat DDT. That was fucking phenomenal move, like phenomenal. And Axiom like was very close to picking up the victory there, like very, very close. But Ilya Dragunov was able to pick up the victory with his Muscal. I can't remember what it's called. Something Muscal, and then obviously his finisher. Just his combo finisher is like probably the best combo finisher in the game, like that flying headbutt and then the elbow to the neck area and chest area is by far, personally for me anyway, my favorite like finishing combo. So yeah, Ilya was able to pick up the victory against Axiom, and then during the break, DIY did attack, or I think it might have just been Tommaso Ciampa, attacked Axiom. So yeah, that was during the break. During the break. But yeah, like I said, a low 4 out of 5 between Axiom and Ilya Dragunov for the United States Championship. If this match went on for another like 4 or 5 minutes, I definitely think I would have given it a 5. But because it was cut a little bit shorter than I wanted it to be, I did end up giving it a low 4 out of 5. But yeah, very, very good match between Axiom and Ilya. The second match of the Last Time Is Now tournament happened next, and that was between LA Knight and a mystery opponent. And the mystery opponent ended up being none other than Zack Ryder, also known as Matt Cardona. But he came out to his old WWE music, and he came out as Zack Ryder and not Matt Cardona. And I'm beyond happy that it was Zack Ryder, because I honestly really did think it was going to be Joe Hendry. Like a big, massive part of me was like, it's going to be Joe Hendry, but it wasn't. It was Zack Ryder, and I'm so fucking glad it was. I did give this match a moderate 3 out of 5 because I do feel like it was on par with The Miz versus Jay. Like I felt like the both matches were very similar time and length and just very similar. So I did end up giving it the same as the Jay and Miz match in a 3 out of 5, but a moderate 3 out of 5. We had a Woo versus a Yeroff within the crowd, which was quite funny. It pretty much was a back and forth match, which I'm so glad about. I'm glad that LA didn't get a lot of the offense, just because it's that Ryder's like first match back in WWE in like 5.5 years or something like that. And I'm glad that it was a pretty back and forth match between the pair of them. We had a close call to the Rough Rider, but LA Knight was able to pick up the victory against a returning Zack Ryder and has advanced in the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament. And I'm not bothered that it's LA Knight that beat Zack Ryder. I would have loved and preferred LA Knight, but The Miz versus Zack Ryder, because both of them have like history with John Cena, and both of them have history with each other with the whole Intercontinental Championship. So it would have been in 2016. So it would have been perfect, like perfect for those two to have a one-on-one match together, if that's what the whole tournament is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be one-on-one matches with the winners advancing, or it's going to be something different. I'm not actually entirely sure what's happening with the Last Time Is Now tournament, because they just keep saying they advance, but they don't advance. What do they advance to? I don't know what they advance to. So I don't even know if it's going to be a one-on-one scenario, but if it was to be, I would have loved to have seen The Miz versus Zack Ryder like one more time, or most likely. So that would have been cool, but instead, we're potentially getting Jey Uso versus LA Knight, a match that we've had multiple times this year, if it is in a one-on-one scenario. But I really do feel though, if I had to actually like pick, not personally like who I wanted it to be, I actually do feel that it should have been The Miz advanced in the Jay and Miz match, and then LA Knight in the LA and Zack Ryder match, because obviously Zack's officially a part of TNA, not WWE, and this was just a returning scenario for the Last Time Is Now tournament, just like a one-off. Well, potentially a one-off anyway. But I do feel that it should have been the Miz and LA Knight that advanced, not Jay and LA. It should have, well, not Jay. It should have been LA and the Miz. But I don't know why it was Jey Uso. Why have Jey Uso beat the Miz? Like, I don't understand that. That's really, really bizarre to me. That's the bizarrest one out of the two. 1000% the bizarrest one. Because why? Jay's got so much going on when the Miz doesn't. Like, why not have the Miz advance and the Miz be a part of this Last Time Is Now scenario match or whatever may happen? But we'll speak about what I think the Last Time Now tournament is going to be in a second. We then had a backstage segment with Rhea, Io, and Alexa, and Rhea and Io were obviously speaking to Alexa about what was going on with Charlotte, and then Alexa said, "I have a couple more people in mind." I think that's what she said anyway. And then Lash Legend, Nia Jax, and the Kabuki Warriors beat the living shit out of Rhea and Io. Not so much Alexa, but beat the living shit out of Rhea and Io. Like, Jesus, like, Rhea's only just come back from a broken nose. Like, can you be careful? Like, but yeah, that was vicious brawl. That was. This is what, if you saw Smackdown last night, which I'm presuming you did, that brawl last night and what happened on Monday Night Raw is reason 1001 why I do not want Maxine and AJ a part of War Games. I'd rather the option A that I said earlier, not AJ and Maxine, please. But yeah, I did give it a low 4 out of 5 because I felt that the segment and brawl was a very, very like good segment and brawl and looked intense, and they're building Lash to be a fucking badass, and I'm here for it. Like, I am here for it. But I just don't want AJ in that match and Maxine. But I'm here for what they're doing with Lash. Just keep AJ and Maxine away from her because of how dominant and badass she's looking. But yeah, I'm excited for both War Games, actually, to be fair. Depending on who the last 2 people are in the men's side of things. And the last 3 people are a part of women's, actually, to be fair. But yeah. The third match we're going to talk about? No, fourth match. Yeah, fourth match we're going to talk about is the women's champion. Well, no, it wasn't a women's championship match. I just realised it was just a normal one-on-one match. I don't think they said women's championship anyway. I think it was just a normal one-on-one match. Yeah, it was. So ignore that. We did have a match between BFAB and Jade Cargill. I gave it a moderate 2 out of 5, but a good 2 out of 5 in a way, because I can't give it a 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5 because the match was literally like under like 5 minutes. But it was a good moderate, a good 2 because of what they're building Jade Cargill to be a dominant champion. BFAB has some nasty kicks though. I have to give her that. But Jade absolutely destroyed BFAB for the majority of this match, and Jade Cargill was able to pick up the victory in under 5 minutes and then shoved Meechin. So probably on next week's SmackDown, we're going to get Meechin versus Jade Cargill. But I'm here for it because as long as we're getting Jade Cargill on the show and she doesn't have to defend her championship, but as long as she's on the show and we're seeing her, because considering she's the biggest champion, she's the biggest champion when it comes to the women's division on SmackDown, as long as we're getting to see her, I don't care if it's in a 2-minute match, a 30-second match, a 5-minute, a 10-minute, whatever how long it is, as long as she's getting some sort of match, I'm happy with it. So I won't mind if Meechin has a one-on-one match with Jade Cargill next week, which probably most likely is going to be the case. And then we got the announcement for the last 4 people that are going to be part of the 16-man tournament, because the last 4 people that were announced last night are the last out of the 16. So we are going to get Carmelo Hayes versus Bronson Reed. And then we're also going to get Penta versus Finn Balor, which is a bit of a confusing one, considering both Penta and Finn Balor are on Raw. Like, why is it not another SmackDown superstar? But okay, that's a bit weird because we've had an extra Raw superstar instead of an extra SmackDown superstar. But I gave it a high 3 out of 5, the 2 matches, because I'm not. I would have preferred it to be somebody else, not Penta. To be honest, I would have preferred Finn Balor versus someone on SmackDown. I'm not really bothered about Penta being a part of this Last Time Is Now tournament. To be honest, Yeah, so I kind of wish it was somebody different than Penta. But the Camelo versus Bronson, I'm alright with that one. Yeah, I mean, actually, no, I probably would have preferred Camelo Hayes versus Bron Breakker instead, because then there's potential of Bron Breakker like winning this whole tournament and facing John Cena, and we actually have an under 30-year-old like facing John Cena. Because if you actually look at it, right, this last time it's now tournament, right, there is two people. No, wait, hang on. There is one person, I think. I'm pretty sure there is anyway. There is one person that is in their 20s. One. And that's Javon Evans, who's facing Gunther, of all people. One person is in their 20s. One. The rest of them are in their 30s and 40s. Why? Why? I thought John Cena wants to face somebody that is a young talent. Like, why would he want to face someone that is close in age to him? That makes zero sense. If he, like, the whole point of John Cena having his final match is to put put over a younger talent, not to put over someone that's similar age to him. Like, what the hell? That makes no sense. But literally only one person is in their 20s. Camelo Hayes, though, is in his early 30s, so he's fine. But I think that's literally it. I think there's two people that are in their early 30s and their 20s, and then the rest of them are in their late 30s, early 40s. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. So we've literally had two people that are under 35 in this tournament. It's just like, what is WWE doing? I don't know. We obviously don't know who the mystery partner is, but the mystery partner is not going to be somebody in their 20s. I mean, it could be Levon Slater, which I'd be so down for, but he's not going to win it because, like, look at the names in it. It's just like, what is this? Last time is now tournament. I was expecting, to be honest with you, it to be a few people from John Cena's past, like at least four people, like two from Raw, two from SmackDown from John Cena's past, and two mystery people. So like six people out of the 16 were part of John Cena's past. So I don't know, a Zack Ryder, if it was to be a Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, Sheamus, Rusev, and The Miz, Sheamus, Rusev, Matt Cudler, Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler, and did I say Sheamus? I don't know if I said Sheamus. The Miz, Rusev, Matt Cardona, yeah, Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, and I don't know, somebody else that was part of John Cena's past. I don't think there's anyone else in this tournament that was part of John Cena's past. Finn Balor? No, not really. I don't know, but it should have been. Anyways, it should have been six people that were with someone that's had a match with John Cena in the past, like six people, and then the other 10 should have been young talent, like under 35. Like you had to be under 35 to be a part of this tournament. So either Javon Evans, Leon Slater, Camelo Hayes, Trick Williams. I don't know. Actually, no. I think he's older than 35. I don't know though. I don't know, but anyone in the NXT, TNA, SmackDown, and Raw roster that are under 35 were the other 10 people. So at least John Cena has the potential of facing a younger talent, a bigger possibility of facing a younger talent. Because, like, what the hell is this tournament? Like, there's good names in it. Don't get me wrong. Like, there is good names in it. Like the 16 names, apart from the mystery person, are good names. Like, I'm happy about the names. It's just at the same time, it's supposed to be a tournament that Johnson is going to be facing someone that's going to retire him, and surely it needs to be someone that's going to carry on WWE into the future. Someone in their late 30s, early 40s doesn't really make any sense for that scenario. It needs to be someone in their 20s or early 30s. So it doesn't really make any sense. But oh well, it is what it is, I guess. Also on next week's SmackDown, we're going to get Fraction versus DIY, which is going to be a banger, hopefully. And then most likely we'll have the US Open Challenge, and then probably Meechin versus Jay Cargo will be the other two matches, and then that will be the 5 matches on next week's SmackDown. But yeah, we also had the announcement of a 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match at the Friday before Survivor Series, which I'm very, very excited for that match. I cannot wait for that. Right. What I think quickly, this last time is now tournament is going to be before we get on to the main event, because they're not announcing who's going to be facing who and where they're advancing to. What if the 8 men that have advanced in this last time is now tournament? What if at Oh no, hang on, no, that won't work. I was gonna say, what if at Survivor Series they do an 8 man battle royale, but Jey Uso is a part of War Games, so that doesn't work. I mean, I suppose he could have 2 matches, but I mean, it could work. I guess it could work if they have 2 matches, I guess. But maybe it will be happen before like the Friday before Sandbox main event. Like we get an 8 man battle royale, and the winner of that 8 man battle royale faces John Cena that the next night, or something like that on Raw. Maybe it happens on Raw the week of Saturday's main event, or the Smackdown the night before Saturday's main event. We get like an 8 man battle royale, and the winner of that 8 man battle royale goes on to face John Cena like that week or the next day. It's the potential of what I can see happening maybe then, instead of it being a Survivor Series. But I mean, it could still be a Survivor Series, but I doubt it. But yeah, I don't know what actually is happening with the last time it's now tournament. Anyways, we are on to the main event of SmackDown, and that was for the WWE Championship, and it was between Bronson Reed and Cody Rhodes. I did end up giving this a low 3 out of 5 because it wasn't very long, but it was all right. Bronson was destroying Cody for the best part of this match. We had a fantastic top rope Cody cutter by Cody, of course. But then it ended in 9 minutes because of Bron Breakker coming out of nowhere and shoulder tackling Cody Rhodes into the announce table, and then Logan came out to help and beat down Cody Rhodes, and then Jay and Jimmy made their way to the ring to help out Cody Rhodes, and then we had the return, I guess, in a way, of Drew McIntyre, who is officially a part of the Visions War Games side of things, because Paul Heyman was allowed to choose anybody, and he chose the guy that was suspended. So now War Games is shaping up to be, the men's side of things is shaping up to be better now that Cody and Drew are a part of it. Because if Cody was just a part of it and Drew wasn't, I'll be like, why is Cody a part of this? Didn't really make any sense. But now that Drew is a part of it, it makes a bit more sense. But now that Drew is unsuspended, I guess, why are they not just doing a one-on-one match between Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes at Survivor Series? Why is Drew and Cody a part of War Games? That is both champions in War Games. Like, you had it right there to do Drew versus Cody in a rematch, in a stipulation, in an arena. I don't understand why they're both a part of War Games still, really. But it does. The War Games now makes more sense because Drew's on the other side of things, but at the same time, why have Cody and Drew in War Games? Why couldn't you have just done it differently with Drew coming back in a couple of weeks' time, like maybe like next Friday, and then attack Cody Rhodes, and then they set up on the following week or that same day to have a match between Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes and a stipulation for the WWE Undisputed Championship at Survivor Series? I feel like that would have worked better than them being a part of War Games, but I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. Yes, we had a fantastic brawl though. Like, I gave the brawl like a high 4 out of 5 because it was a really good brawl, like really good brawl. But yeah, I kind of wish we had a one-on-one match between Drew and Cody, and 2 other people were part of the face side and the heel side. But it is what it is, I guess. Oh, the mic just came out and it made me absolutely shit myself. What the hell? It made me jump. I don't know why that made me jump so bad. But I think you heard that, but uh, yeah, I don't know why they couldn't have just done a one-on-one match. But I do think that on the heel side of things, I do think the final man's going to be Austin Theory and not Brock Lesnar. And I do think, well, I hope anyway. I prefer Austin Theory over Brock Lesnar. And then on the baby side of things, I think it's going to be John Cena and Roman Reigns, and Jay is going to choose to have Roman a part of this War Games instead of Jimmy Uso and kick Jimmy Uso out. Because what the hell is John Cena doing? Huh? I don't know what he's doing because There's been no announcement for John Cena for War Games, so what the hell is he doing? So I presume John Cena's going to be the fifth man, but then Roman's going to make his return, or Roman will make his return. I don't know, actually. I don't know how that will work, because, I mean, maybe they could recruit John Cena, and then Jimmy gets taken out, maybe, but it's actually Jay that takes him out, and then Roman takes Jay's place, Jimmy's place, maybe? I don't know. Maybe something like that, maybe, yeah. Something like that. But I do think it's going to be Roman and John Cena, and then Jay will either kick out Jimmy for Roman, or Jay will attack Jimmy, but they'll make it out like it was Vision that attacked Jimmy. So, and then on the other side, hopefully it's Austin Theory, but could potentially be Brock Lesnar. But anyways, guys, that is my review for SmackDown last night. Like I said, I did give SmackDown a 5 out of 5 last night. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with me, or you gave it a different rating, a 4 out of 5, a 3 out of 5, 2 out of 5, or a 1 out of 5, because I would be intrigued to know your guys' opinions on last night's SmackDown. And yeah, guys, I do have some videos coming out next week. I will be filming a Raw review, like 110%. I will be filming a Raw review for next week, because there's big potentials of returns and what John Cena is going to be doing and who's going to be a part of the men's War Games and women's War Games. So I definitely will be doing a Raw review for both Raw and SmackDown next week. And yeah, guys, so this has been my SmackDown review, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.